The push to redevelop an area on the Sarasota Bayfront gains new momentum after extensive community input. We'll take a look at some of the reasons and ideas to redesign.
Plus, a new medical marijuana clinic opens its doors in Northport, what the facility has to offer for its patients.
And how Suncoast businesses and their employees are taking the day to help out around the community. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening. I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story, a leap forward in efforts to both preserve and expand a portion of the Sarasota Bayfront.
Now a planning firm has been hired to lead the redevelopment of 42 acres of land around the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall. We'll check in with Jess Dowdrick to explain what the community could see happen to that space and when changes will begin.
There were 4 finalists in the running to create the Bay. Boston-based Sasaki winning the hearts of the Sarasota Bayfront Planning Organization.
When Sasaki interviewed with us, there were a lot of members of the community who also sat in on the interviews. They were as excited as we were.
It was Sasaki's sincere interest in helping the Sarasota community that board members say blew them away. That and their professional abilities shown through previous projects in Cincinnati and Chicago.
They took an area that was kind of blighted and just made it very vibrant.
Sasaki's next project, this oversized parking lot. A black canvas ready to be painted.
What we're hearing from the public is they want the 42 acres to remain as park-like as possible, but there has to be things for people to do there.
The Bay property stretches from the Bayfront to Tamiami Trail, Centennial Park to Boulevard of the Arts.
This community is a community that's built around arts and culture, and we think that it's important that arts and culture be a part of that.
The project is said to be rooted in community input, and they've made it clear they want free public access, from bike paths and walking trails to water taxis and easy navigation over US 41.
We are master planning for the next 50 years. So while there may be phasing or stages of development, we are looking at this being something that is sustainable, that's viable for 50, 100 years down the road.
But plans are all yet to be determined.
That's Jess Dowdrick reporting. Representatives from Sasaki are expected to come to Sarasota as early as December, and we'll have a hub here for that project. The group then has a year to create a master plan and present it to the City Commission.
New details this evening on the investigation into the dragging death of a shark that was shared millions of times on social media. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say they are wrapping up their investigation and are working to come to a swift and lawful resolution to the case. The case gained national attention after video was posted on Instagram of a group of Suncoast men dragging a shark on the back of their boat. Investigators are still compiling evidence, and it will be handing it over to the state attorney's office soon. A representative with the state attorney's office tells ABC 7 that once that case has been submitted to them, they will then decide if charges will be filed. Well, let's check in with First Alert Weather Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Beautiful day today it was. Thank you, Jacqueline and Scott. We are looking at some showers and storms down to our south. That's going to change things up a bit as a low pressure area gets closer to us, and eventually a surface reflection will develop, and that means a low pressure area just off the coast of Cuba, and it will also bring us an increase in moisture, availability of moisture, enough heating of the day. Showers and storms will be rather prevalent, I think, as we move into the future. And watching this area come off the coast of Tampa, you'll see it. It's all the way down here. It's reflectivity of something going on down there. Could be birds, who knows, or some very dry air. Who knows right now? I called the National Weather Service. They were unsure of it too. But this is definitely rainfall right here, pushing off to the southwest right now. Not much going on in the interior portion of our viewing area. Just a few lone showers there. Right now we have partly cloudy skies and 88 degrees. The dew point temperature now at 68, which isn't too bad. Winds out of the east-northeast at 10, and the pressure now 29.89 inches. That dew point temperature never usually gets below 70 during the summer, so you know we're out of summer when it starts to get into the 60s, even though it may not feel as cool. It is a little bit better each and every day. 88 degrees in Sarasota now. The Gulf water temperature at 84. A little bit cooler in inland places like Sebring, now at 82. Well, much more in your weather forecast. Talk about the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. We'll check back in with you shortly. Do you want to stay up to date on the latest local news? Well, we're proud to announce our new ABC7 My Suncoast News app. If you're an iPhone or iPad user and currently have our news app, you'll want to go to the App Store now and download WWSB ABC7 Tampa My Suncoast. It's completely free and provides the most comprehensive news coverage for Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, Hardee, and DeSoto counties. If you're an Android user, don't worry, you'll get the new version. Download it automatically.
First local case of the Zika virus this year is found in Manatee County. The Florida Department of Health confirming it's monitoring the individual who has been diagnosed. Health Department officials say a couple traveled to Cuba where one of them picked up the virus. After returning home to Manatee County, the other partner contracted it from a mosquito that had bitten the infected one. The Health Department has notified Mosquito Control, which is now monitoring that area, and we'll have more on this developing story coming up at 6 o'clock. A Holmes Beach man is charged with murder and child abuse after a toddler in his care died. In August, police were called to a home on Peacock Lane in Holmes Beach where they found 17-month-old Lucas Shorley unresponsive. He was taken to the hospital, but 2 days later was declared brain dead. Doctors found Lucas' injuries were consistent with child abuse and notified law enforcement. After an investigation, 31-year-old David Vickers was charged with second-degree homicide and aggravated child abuse. Detectives determined Luca had been physically abused by Vickers on several occasions. South Sarasota County's second medical cannabis clinic has officially opened its doors.
The clinic on US 41 is now seeing patients who believe they're in need of the medical treatment. ABC7's Christopher Brantley joins us from Northport with more on how the clinic is looking to help patients on the Suncoast. Christopher?
Good evening. The new office is Northport's first medical cannabis clinic. It's run by Dr. Nagi Farag. He's a longtime ER doctor and orthopedic surgeon. The office is called the Med Spot. It's an organic healing clinic. Even before the medical cannabis, they were trying to help their patients by using all-natural methods. Dr. Farag said he started seeing a lot of patients come in who have chronic pains and illnesses but weren't having any success treating them with normal pain medications.
I found that the people needed for some pain management because they're chronic disease. I searched around, I couldn't find anything like that. So they needed badly in this area.
Now, there is another office just a little north of here in Venice, the Compassionate Cannabis Clinic. The city of Northport is going to have a second reading on an ordinance that would actually allow the dispensaries to open up here in Northport. They're the ones that actually give out the cannabis to the patients. That vote will be coming up shortly. Live in Northport, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Christopher. It has been a month since Hurricane Irma hit, and Sarasota County is now reviewing how it handled the storm before, during, and after it came through the state. The report, called After Action Report, was discussed at a county meeting this week. The county was approached by the Gulf Coast Community Foundation and the Barancik Foundation about providing that study. It would highlight things like emergency response, shelter services, electric grids, and storm cleanup. If commissioners agree to move forward with that study, it will take 90 days to complete. Meanwhile, to help people still recovering from Hurricane Irma, a disaster recovery center is now open in Inglewood. FEMA, the U.S. Small Business Administration, and state officials will be on hand at the center from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. through Sunday, October 15th at Ann Deaver Regional Park. They can help you fill out an application for assistance or update your status.
More than 40 Suncoast businesses and their 1,900 employees gave back to the community today, volunteering their time and hard work through United Way's annual Day of Giving. Teams of volunteers were sent around the Suncoast to various local organizations like the American Red Cross to give them an extra helping hand.
What they do for communities in terms of disasters, in terms of mine incidents that someone may have, whether it's a family whose house is caught on fire, they always show up to help. And so why not, give back to those who have given to us on a volunteer basis.
Besides helping out at the Red Cross, some of the other projects volunteers worked on today included helping families write resumes and prepare for job interviews at Booker Middle School, cleaning up at the Senior Friendship Center, and working at the Salvation Army. Good job by all.
Yeah, great initiative for that day of caring. Well, ABC7's business commentator Richard Stern joins us now. Richard, I understand there are down arrows across the board on Wall Street today.
Jacqueline, you understand correctly, and unfortunately we can't set records every day. I know most of our viewers would appreciate it if we did in fact do that. Today we were not in a big range. The top was only plus 12 points, the bottom only minus 52, and we finished kind of in the middle. But the biggest news of all is that there was no big news. The biggest move of the day, less than 0.2%. So let's take a look at a quiet but in fact down day. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 32 points, 0.14% at 22,840.52. That on volume of 707 million shares. The Nasdaq down 0.18%, 12 points at 6,591.51. That on volume of 1,692 million shares. The S&P makes it a clean sweep right in the middle, down 0.17, just over 4 points at 2,550.93. Well, I suspect you remember the name Equifax. It was only on the 7th of September that the company came out and announced a historic security breach for 145 million people. Well, I'm sorry to say Equifax came out today and said there has been yet another breach. They don't know the magnitude of it. They don't know when it started. They do believe they have already got it stopped. But the bottom line, obviously, the company is in credibility problems for sure. They're based in Atlanta. Their stock continues to go down. They've replaced the CEO. Just about everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. Hopefully this breach will be smaller and well contained. It's been a huge problem.
Sure has. And what's happening with Southwest Airlines, Richard?
Well, there were some hurricanes, if you remember those, and Southwest came out today and said they believe that the hurricanes collectively amounted to $100 million in lost revenue. That's a big number as well.
A lot of the airlines dealing with that for sure. All right, Richard, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, firefighters continue to struggle to contain massive wildfires out west. We'll look at the damage and the efforts there to keep families safe.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus the danger of a high fever during pregnancy. That story coming up in Health Smart.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
I'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $199 a month, or get 2.9% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Some encouraging news out of California, where for the fourth day in a row, crews are battling nearly 24 wildfires across the state. Officials say more than 190,000 acres have been burned so far, but they are making some progress and expect the number of contained fires to go up by the end of the day. As ABC's Elizabeth Herr reports, the death toll now stands at 26, but more than 400 people are still unaccounted for.
The damage done is catastrophic, but with crews attacking the massive wildfires from the ground and in the air. Finally, on this day 4 of the inferno, officials reporting progress.
Today's a different day, and it's a good day for us.
Firefighters beginning to contain the fires that raged out of control across Northern California. So far, scorching nearly 200,000 acres, completely wiping out some neighborhoods and destroying thousands of homes and businesses. The danger not over yet for so many communities, including Calistoga in Napa County, with flames inching closer to the city limits. All 5,000 of its residents remain under a mandatory evacuation.
You will not be given life safety support at this point. You are on your own. If you're trying to visit Calistoga, you are not welcome.
And I gotta go and find a place. There's no cell service.
With the future of their homes still uncertain, so many residents racing out of town in disbelief.
It's still unbelievable. We can't believe this is really happening. We've never been in a situation like this.
Some leaving their sprinklers running on the roof, others this sign asking firefighters to please save their home. And right now where we are, this is also under a mandatory evacuation order where we are told at least 1,000 homes have been destroyed in this neighborhood alone. This, as authorities say, teams with cadaver dogs will now begin targeted searches in these devastated areas for those people still missing. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, Santa Rosa, California.
It's sad to say we may see that death toll
continue to rise.
Yeah, looks like yeah, too bad, huh? I tell you, it's so dry out there too. It's been dry. Take a look at the picture right we have here. Water vapor imagery showing that dry air moving through. Even though a front is making its way through, that dry air is continuing to move in through that region. And when fronts move through, the winds really pick up too. And that can sometimes, again, fan the flames. Right now, they seem to be getting a handle on it, but that's not good news. They could use a big storm system there just to kind of actually moisten everything up, but it's not going to happen with this front. Things are very dry out west. Things are changing here as the dry air that was around is slowly moving out now, and we're starting to see some moisture return. The Van Wezel webcam showing a beautiful day out on the water again, but the winds will start to pick up too due to a low pressure system developing to our south. Right now the rain you can see is moderate to heavy down to the south of us now, over South Florida, down into the Cuba and also in the Florida Straits. This area of low pressure will continue to work its way to the west. A surface low will develop, it appears, near the Yucatan and also near the western tip of Cuba, and then eventually move into the southeast Gulf of Mexico. It will keep us in a pretty good chance for showers and storms over the next several days right now. You can see those rain showers are rather sporadic, but there is some sort of a counterclockwise swirl to the storms that we're seeing right now down to our south. Not much happening right here, right now. It is quiet and should stay that way through the overnight hours. Currently, we have 88 degrees, the dew point temperature at 68. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 10, and the pressure 29.89 inches, and that is falling slightly at this hour. Well, the hourly forecast for Friday, the 13th, looks like this. Partly cloudy skies, temperatures warming into the mid to upper 80s, so above average we go, with a good chance for showers and storms scattered about throughout the late afternoon and early evening. The forecast model is depicting some showers around, not so much tonight, but tomorrow afternoon, those showers kind of working their way in. This is at 2:30. You can see them scattered about, and then even up through about 6, 7 o'clock, things start to dry out as the low pressure area continues to move to the west. We'll see another round of showers and storms developing on Saturday. A little bit more, I think, too, on Saturday, with a better chance for a little bit more coverage throughout the day on Saturday, as showers and storms will be in the forecast for the foreseeable future. And it looks like no real significant cold fronts making their way into our area anytime soon. Well, this is really an amazing story. This is now a Category 2 hurricane. 100-mile-an-hour winds associated with Ophelia way out there in the Atlantic, which is unusual in the first place to have a hurricane out here, but now a Category 2, and the eye is really well defined at this point. There is a chance it could get a little bit stronger, but unlikely becoming a Category 3 storm at this point. You never know. This has been a crazy season. The latest on it, it's stationary. You saw in that satellite imagery, not moving much at all. Top winds now at 100 miles an hour. It is stationary. It's drifting now slightly to the east. There's the forecast path and track, becoming a Category 1 by tomorrow. And notice all the models are in agreement with this one. It's a very narrow cone, if you will. And as the forecast goes, unfortunately, it's headed right toward Ireland and England in time, and could be a very significant low-pressure system. It won't have the tropical characteristics, but it'll have hurricane-force winds. And right now, anywhere from Ireland to the east thereof into England. Water temperatures are still very warm here, and especially in the western Caribbean Sea. Until we get a couple of cold fronts to move through, it won't shut that down as far as hurricane production goes for some time until we get those cold fronts to move on through. Northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be 2 to 3 feet with a moderate chop out there. Water temperature now at 84 degrees. UV index will be at 8 tomorrow as clouds will move in throughout the afternoon and evening. High tide 9:52 and a low tide at 1 o'clock. Sunset at 7:04 tonight. A little bit of patchy fog, otherwise partly cloudy and warm, 75 for a low. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, scattered showers and storms in the afternoon and evening, 89 for your high. The extended forecast does call for a much better chance for rain over the weekend, and looks like the rain chance staying at 40% through all of next week. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to First Alert traffic, and let's look at I-75 at this hour. We're seeing a lot of green on the interstate, but northbound drivers seeing a little bit of a slowdown right at the what is that? That's University Parkway. Looks like the exit there, slowing traffic a little bit as you head north, but then it clears up after a bit. Jacqueline? All
right, thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, running a high fever during early pregnancy is known to be dangerous, but until recently, the question remained, is it the fever or the underlying infection that puts a baby at risk? Kim Hutcherson explains the findings of a new study in the Journal of Science.
Fever during the first trimester can increase an infant's risk of developing a congenital heart defect and certain facial deformities like a cleft lip or cleft palate. A new study reveals that the high temperature itself can lead to birth defects, separate from the underlying infection. The fever impacts both the fetus's heart and jaw during the first 3 to 8 weeks of pregnancy. The doctors behind the study say this is good news because fever-associated defects are preventable. It could even be as simple as taking over-the-counter medication like acetaminophen. Many women avoid medicating while pregnant. However, the senior author behind the study insists certain drugs are thought to be safe. He says you should always discuss all the risks and benefits of medication with your doctor. Researchers say they still don't know whether the severity or duration of a fever also has an impact on birth defects. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
According to the CDC, nearly 800,000 Americans will suffer a stroke each year. And while stroke-related deaths in the U.S. have declined over the past decade, new research is showing an alarming trend.
Risk factors we think of like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, drug abuse have all become more common among stroke patients.
The study looked at more than 900,000 people hospitalized for stroke over a 10-year period. One simple way that you can help reduce your risk of stroke is by knowing what to be aware of by following up with your primary medical doctor, getting annual physicals, and being screened for medical problems. Coming up, after years of being held captive by the Taliban, a family is finally free. We'll take a look at the rescue coming up next.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000, has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
An American woman, her Canadian husband, and their 3 children are finally free today, rescued in Pakistan after being held captive for 5 years by a group with ties to the Taliban.
The last words that they heard from their Afghan captors just before their rescue: kill the hostages. ABC's Aaron Katarski joins us now with details on their rescue.
We have waited.
Caitlin Coleman, her husband Joshua Boyle, and their children, who were born in captivity, were rescued Wednesday by Pakistani forces, 5 years to the day since the couple was kidnapped by the Taliban-linked Haqqani network as they traveled in Afghanistan.
We were told the wonderful news that our family had been rescued. We were allowed to actually talk with Josh. So that's the first time in 5 years we got to hear his voice.
U.S. Special Operations troops were considering a raid to rescue the family, then learned they had been moved, making the operation difficult. Then Wednesday, the Pakistani army announced the family had been rescued. The Toronto Star reported that Boyle told his parents he was in the trunk of the kidnapper's car along with his wife and children when rescued, following a shootout in which all 5 of his kidnappers were killed. The last thing he said he heard his captors say was, "Kill the hostages." The White House signaled the release as a sign of improved relations with Pakistan.
The Pakistani government's cooperation is a sign that it is honoring America's wish that it do more to provide security in the region.
A 5-year hostage taking is too long.
They've been essentially living in a hole for 5 years. I mean, that's the kind of people we're dealing with over there.
For years, the families have pleaded for their release. Today in Pennsylvania, the Coleman family asked for privacy. What's next for this family is still unclear. They're now in Pakistan, and the U.S. military has provided a plane to take them out. But we're told the family refused to get on it. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
Well, for the first time since Hurricane Irma hit, 5 residents of the Miami Zoo have returned home. Take a look at this. Sounds pretty happy, right? After almost a month of being stuck in their holding facilities, these 5 chimpanzees finally got to return to their exhibit. The primates moving around, checking out the area, and posing for the camera. Since Irma, the chimps have been staying in their holding facilities and were unable to play in their exhibit due to downed trees and other damage. I'm sure they're happy to be back in that bigger area.
They're looking around like, wow, haven't been out here in a while, huh?
I know. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, President Trump signs a new order on health care.
What that order means for Americans, coming up next.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Frustrated by failures in Congress, President Trump will try to put his own stamp on health care.
The president issuing an executive order today that aims to make lower premium plans more widely available. ABC's Serena Marshall is in Washington to give us a look at that plan.
What Congress couldn't accomplish, President Trump trying to do on his own. Repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act with a stroke of a pen. The executive order the White House says would allow employers to form groups across state lines and buy short-term insurance policies that promote healthcare choice and competition.
Insurance companies will be fighting to get every single person signed up. And you will be hopefully negotiating, and you'll get such low prices for such great care.
Critics say, though, the order undermines key protections in the Affordable Care Act by creating low-cost insurance options for the healthy, driving up costs for the sick, and destabilizes the insurance marketplace even more.
The president is sabotaging health care, and we have no action in the Congress.
The trade group that represents the insurance industry in a statement saying we cannot jeopardize the stability of other markets that provide coverage for hundreds of millions of Americans. The order comes after Congress failed not once, not twice, but at least 3 times at a repeal and replace bill. The Speaker of the House says legislation is still the best option.
If you first don't succeed, try again. So we just keep telling our Senate friends, just keep at it.
The president, though, making this promise to Americans.
This will cost the United States government virtually nothing, and people will have great health care.
Consumers are unlikely to see any change from this order until at least 2019. Meanwhile, though, key senators on Capitol Hill continue their work on a bipartisan approach to stabilize the marketplace. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
Health insurance rates have historically seen some degree of price increases year after year. It appeared to get worse after the Affordable Care Act, which required coverage of certain services, including maternity care and mental health services. So how can we expect to afford health insurance when our salaries remain the same, but those insurance costs go up?
When we started in 2014 writing Affordable Care Act policies, there was probably 8, 9, maybe even 10 carriers per county. So there was a lot of options, there was a lot of competition. Unfortunately now, here in Sarasota County, we're only going to have 2 carriers to choose from this year. And when you tell a family that they have to pay $1,500 a month for a $14,000 deductible, it's not right. It's just not right.
Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we'll talk about the problems with the current healthcare system and if we can expect a change anytime soon.
With the World Rowing Championships in the rearview mirror, Nathan Benderson Park is now turning their attention to new rowing endeavors. On Thursday, NCAA Rowing Championship leaders visited the park to speak about logistics before Sarasota hosts the event for the first time next spring. Nearly 40 teams from NCAA Divisions 1, 2, and 3 will compete at Nathan Benderson Park for the national championships during Memorial Day weekend.
We're really looking forward to coming down here to Sarasota, Florida, and just being here in meetings over the last couple of days and just learning about the area and just the great people that are involved in terms of this process. We are really looking forward to having this championship down here.
Benderson Park has also won bids to host the NCAA National Championship in 2020 and 2021. So putting that to great use over there towards Nathan Benderson Park.
Yeah, awesome. Well, it was a delightful morning on the Suncoast. It felt almost fall-like. I think the closest we've had in a while. Some nice dry air around. Let's get more on our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Thanks. Right now, a frontal boundary just to the north of us from Georgia stretching out into the Gulf of Mexico is stationary. Behind it, some much cooler air, but that is fading away. We're going to see that humidity start to increase here. It already has over South Florida as a result of an area of low pressure. So get ready. A little higher humidity tomorrow. Also, showers and storms will be back in the forecast along with some clouds as a result of a low pressure area down to our south. Right now, not much going on in terms of rain over our immediate area. Some heavier storms down into South Florida now near Fort Myers and also near Naples and also near Lake Okeechobee. Currently looking out over Sarasota Bay, pretty calm conditions there. 88 degrees. We have some high clouds around and the dew point temperature is pretty nice at 68 degrees, which is fairly typical for this time of year. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 10 and the pressure now 29.89 inches, and that has been falling ever so slightly throughout the day today. Temperatures by 11 o'clock will be in the mid-70s under fair skies. A little bit different forecast for us tomorrow and continuing into the weekend. We'll have more on that in just a few minutes. See you in a little bit. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The House has passed a $36.5 billion measure aimed at helping cash-strapped government of Puerto Rico and areas impacted by natural disasters. The bill combines money for FEMA's disaster relief, the federal flood insurance program, and aid in Western firefighting efforts. Nearly $5 billion of the funding could be used to help the government of Puerto Rico and its local jurisdictions stay functional as they endure unsustainable cash shortfalls in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. The Senate plans to take up the bill next week.
A plan to help bullied students is up for discussion this week at the Capitol. House Republican leaders outlining a proposal today that would allow students who are bullied to either transfer to other public schools or receive money to attend private schools. So far, a bill has not been filed, but there are still questions about how the program would pay for students to attend private schools.
Anywhere from K to 12th grade. You're talking little kids getting subject to violence and abuse. And we know from all the studies that if you're fearful of stepping onto a school campus, if you're worried for your own safety, you will not learn. You're not going to learn.
Under that proposal, students and parents would report bullying and any other incidents to the schools, and then after a 15-day window, they could move to another school.
Melbourne police say a 16-year-old boy was found dead inside a home after firing shots at police. Police and SWAT surrounding the home in West Melbourne overnight after a woman called 911 saying her grandson was throwing things. When officers arrived and entered the home, they say the team came out from a bedroom with a gun and shot at the officers.
There was multiple shots that were fired at the officers.
That left 2 additional people inside the home as well as the shooter.
You don't see anything.
Hours into the standoff, police were able to get those 2 out safely. The teen was later found dead inside the home from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Well, the 12th annual Key to the Cure is underway at Saks Fifth Avenue at the mall at University Town Center. ABC 7's Haley Wilgus explains where that money raised goes and why this year's event is a bit different.
To date, Key to the Cure in Sarasota has raised $1.3 million for women's cancer programs here at Sarasota Memorial Hospital. And this year's event features 10 cancer survivors who were treated right here at SMH.
This is just a lovely group of survivors.
Elise Black is one of the 10 cancer survivors featured in the campaign for this year's Key to the Cure event. We asked her what it felt like when she first found out she had breast cancer.
That's a hard question to answer. It was devastating. I've been a nurse for 35 years, and I have no family history. So you don't ever think, I've treated lots of people, but you don't ever think it's going to happen to you until it does.
Black had a bilateral mastectomy, 7 rounds of chemotherapy, and radiation.
9 years later, I am the face of breast cancer. I am strong. I am on a Dragon Boat team here in Sarasota. To get that diagnosis and be where I am today, it's okay.
Your life is so normal one day, and then you wake up with all your girlfriends, but you get a phone call.
Amanda Gorski was only 26 when she was diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. She was also featured in the campaign and says she found a sisterhood in these women.
We got to meet other survivors, other similar and different stories, but all really meeting at the core of what really bonds us, and it's quite special.
Board-certified plastic surgeon Dr. Alyssa Schulman and her husband are the honorary co-chairs of this year's Key to the Cure event.
We're actually making this more of not just a fundraising party event, but really a chance to showcase how wonderful Sarasota is as a medical community, especially if you have breast cancer.
Dr. Schulman says Key to the Cure only makes the world-class women's cancer care available right here in Sarasota even better, especially for those who can't afford it.
The funds stay local. Most of them are to mammograms and other screening. Some of them go to, something near and dear to my heart, which is breast reconstruction. So patients who don't have insurance, don't have access, are able to get breast reconstruction. You shouldn't have to leave for that.
The 10 featured cancer survivors have invited their physicians who treated them during their cancer journey to join them at tonight's event to celebrate, but also to answer questions for those who may be going through the same thing. In Sarasota, Haley Wilgus, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
I think it's just outstanding, the efforts that we have at Sarasota Memorial Hospital to treat breast cancer. And
those survivors are going to, really give those people going through it now a lot of hope that, they can go on with their life and beat this disease. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, an outbreak commonly caused by consuming contaminated food or water has families on alert across the country.
How you can protect yourself from salmonella coming up next.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from
everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Watch Your Suncoast News at 6 on your streaming device for a chance to win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just watch weekdays at 6 for the word of the week. Then enter the word at mysuncoast.com for your shot at a $50 Visa. We'll pick the winner each week. Good luck.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A foodborne illness at a chili cook-off affecting over 100 people is now raising awareness of salmonella poisoning. ABC News correspondent Lana Zach tells us what we can learn from this outbreak.
A chili cook-off in Virginia last month sent many people home with more than just heartburn. So far, health officials are reporting 150 people have suffered from stomach upset, vomiting, fever, and other symptoms. These chili lovers experiencing firsthand the illness caused by the foodborne bacteria known as salmonella. The investigation is ongoing. What we do know about salmonella is that each year it affects more than 1 million Americans, and it led to more than 300 deaths in 2013. And it isn't just linked to undercooked meat. The majority of salmonella outbreaks, in fact, are caused by dairy, eggs, and produce. 1 in 5 cases come from poultry, but even fewer come from beef or pork. So, what can you do to keep yourself safe from this illness? It's simple. Separate meat from the other foods in your refrigerator, cook meat to the correct temperature, wash your hands and kitchen surfaces often, and refrigerate your food promptly. With this Medical Minute, I'm Lana Zach, ABC News.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. A beautiful day today. Van Wezel webcam showing nice weather for the area beaches and the bays. Calm conditions out there. Winds will pick up, though, over the upcoming days as a result of an area of low pressure, which is going to develop down to our south. It also gives us a better chance for some showers and storms. We're seeing that right now quite clearly on the radar imagery over the past several hours. Heavy rain near the Bahamas, down into South Florida, the Keys, the Florida Straits, but for us, pretty much high and dry, and that's the way it should stay through this evening, although a different story tomorrow. You can see that counterclockwise rotation with these cells here. It is pushing off to the west-southwest, a low-pressure area developing off the western tip of Cuba, it looks like, over the weekend, but close enough to us to bring us a pretty good chance for at least scattered showers and storms, especially on Saturday and even on Sunday now. Right now, not much going on. The radar picture checking clear at this time and should do so through the remainder of this evening. Currently, we have sunshine and 88 degrees at the Sarasota Bradenton Airport. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 10. The pressure, 29.89 inches, and that is falling ever so slightly. And the high today was a warm one again, 89. Yesterday it was 91. Day before, 92. It's slowly getting cooler, but not much over the weekend. It'll still be in the upper 80s. 70 was the morning low. It's comfortable. Some places east of, say, 41 did get down into the upper 60s. 94 is the record high set back in 1959. No rainfall to report. So for the month, it's been pretty dry here in October, considering all the other months prior. It's been very active as far as rainfall goes. So far, the yearly total now, 61 inches. The hourly forecast for Friday, the 13th, looks like this. Unlucky in the afternoon for some folks. We'll get showers and thunderstorms throughout the afternoon and evening, scattered about. Hopefully it clears up in time for football Friday night, which has had its hard go as far as keeping skies clear throughout the games over the past several months. And you can see the futurecast indicating not much rain for us tonight, a brief shower possible. Tomorrow, here comes that low pressure area across South Florida. This model depicting it a little bit further north. And that brings us that northeasterly wind, which causes us to see some showers and storms scattered about. And then again on Saturday, not out of the question to see a few isolated thunderstorms with mainly showers, though, pushing off pretty quickly toward the west. So we're not going to see these things build up against the sea breeze much with that easterly wind, but there'll still be a few around. And some of those could bring some moderate rainfall at times, and even the possibility of some lightning. We haven't had that in a while. Boy, this is an amazing looking eye at this point, well out there in the East Atlantic. This is Ophelia. And you can see in the satellite imagery, it showed it moving just very slightly off to the east now. So I think we're starting to see a movement to the east and eventually off to the northeast. Although they're reporting it stationary right now, it appears that just in the last couple of hours, it has started to shift off to the east. The pressure at a low, 973 millibars. But notice this number right here, 100 miles an hour. That makes it a Category 2 storm. And it is moving now to the east and eventually off to the northeast. It's going to be a big story come early next week. With winds up to 75 miles an hour, hammering. Looks like Ireland as well as England all early next week. So that's going to be a devastating storm for those folks. Even though it won't be considered a tropical storm at that point, it'll still be a devastating storm. Northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. And boaters beware, seas running a little higher, 2 to 3 feet. The UV index low in the afternoon, higher in the morning hours. The forecast high tide 9:52 and sunset coming just after 7 o'clock. Partly cloudy, warm, some patchy fog, 75 for your low. Tomorrow looks good. We'll see some sunshine in the morning. Afternoon showers and storms, though. Clouds moving in, 89 for a high. The extended forecast, better chance for some scattered storms at least through the weekend, and then 40% chances after that. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Bob. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. We're seeing a lot of the typical delays at this hour as people are heading home. Northbound interstate drivers are seeing delays near the University Parkway exit. Well, listen up, moms and dads. Pretty soon you'll be able to allow your teens to shop online without fear that they will break the bank. Amazon will soon allow parents to add up to 4 teens to their Amazon accounts, giving the kids their own login information. The new program is for teens between the ages of 13 to 17, and while parents can choose what credit card to pay with, the teens will not be able to see that card information. Parents will also be able to set spending limits, cancel orders, and get notifications when a purchase is made. That'll come in handy because I know if I was a teen having my parents' Amazon account, I would be spending left and right.
I don't know about this. Yeah, it's going to take some overseeing for sure. Entertainment news is next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these other injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-604-1698. That's 800-604-1698.
Celebrate the end of summer with big savings during the Jeep Celebration event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers or save big on a new sleek and stylish Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Drive off today for your next great adventure in a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $15,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
New York police are now investigating allegations of sex crimes against film producer Harvey Weinstein.
This after accusations of rape against Weinstein were outlined in a recent New Yorker article. Now NYPD investigators are trying to locate and interview victims in that article. Investigators also want to talk to Ronan Farrow, who wrote the article. They want him to identify an unnamed accuser interviewed in that piece. Meanwhile, a spokeswoman for Weinstein says he believes his relationships with his accusers were consensual.
CNN announcing Kathy Griffin's replacement for this year's Times Square New Year's Eve celebration. Andy Cohen, the host of Bravo's Watch What Happens Live, will co-host alongside Anderson Cooper as the ball drops this year. The change comes after Griffin was dismissed by CNN last spring after posting a video of herself holding a mask styled to look like the severed head of President Trump. A storm of outrage reaction forced Griffin to apologize and say it was just meant as a spoof. Pop star Taylor Swift making a big announcement today.
Hi, this is Taylor. I've got something pretty awesome that we've been working on for a while that I wanted to share with you.
The Grammy Award winner announcing a soon-to-be unveiled app called The Swift Life, designed to be a creative, inclusive, and community-driven place for users to get better with the singer and each other. The app, promised by the end of 2017, will feature original content, new songs, and give Swift the ability to see and comment on posts. I think that's when you know you made it big.
I was just thinking the same thing. Her own app. Just call it Taylor.
Wow.
Right? The Taylor app.
That's awesome. All right, stay with us. We'll be back with more news and weather.